Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about the match between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, and in this game, finally my friends, finally we get to see a great performance, because in this game Barcelona has won convincingly 4-2 at the Camp Nou. This has been a game and a type of performance that we have been waiting and wanting to see from Xavi's Barcelona, and we finally got that tonight. Barcelona as a collective were able to deliver these 3 points. Everybody played well. There was no standout player within today's game because everybody from the left wing to the right back area, everybody played so well. And the biggest conclusion that we got from this game is that Barcelona are officially in 4th place. This has been the main goal since Xavi did take over, was to get into the top 4, because we do need to get to the Champions League next season. And now moving forward from this game until the end of this season, we need to continue to not put our hands down, to not put our heads down, our arms down. We need to continue to fight, gain this momentum, and play even better than the previous game. So what we are going to be doing in this video is talk about the first half, the second half, and then give the overall conclusion of this game. But of course, I do want to talk about the OneFootball app. The OneFootball app, it is the best football app you could find within the App Store when it does come to the latest player news, team stats, player stats. If you guys do want to follow a specific game that's going on, or a transfer saga that's currently going on in the football world, the OneFootball app is going to be there to cover for you immediately and live. The only thing that you do have to do, it is to scan the QR code that you do see on the screen here. You can take a photo of it and scan it with the camera in your phone, or if not, there is going to be a link in the description box down below. They'll take you straight to the App Store, and then you'll be able to download the OneFootball app. Again, the OneFootball app, it is the best football app. You will always be and forever be up to date with the latest football news. You guys will not be disappointed. And I also do want to thank OneFootball for supporting a content creator. But now let's get back into the video, starting with the first half. And we're going to be talking about the lineup, right? Because in the lineup it does say here that Memphis Depay was not going to be in the squad list. He was not even in the starting 11. So many of us were saying, okay, we could see Ferran, Aubameyang, and Traoré as our front 3, or we could see Ferran, Abde, and Traoré in our front 3 for tonight's game. But no, we saw Gavi on the left wing, we saw Traoré as the right winger, and Ferran Torres as the number 9. But he was sort of playing like a false 9 for today's game, and he played very well. And our midfield was Pedri, Frenkie, and Busquets. And many of us were asking, okay, if we're going to be having a front 3 like this and a midfield of Busquets, Frenkie, and Pedri, could this actually work? Can these men actually deliver for us tonight? So let's find out. Let's go into the first half, because in the first half it was one of the best first halves that we have seen, and probably the best first half we have seen under Xavi so far. Because the fact that Barcelona were able to dominate Atletico Madrid in this way, the way that they pressured them, the way that they moved the ball fast, the way that they switched play and crossed the ball all the way to the other side of the field when they needed to, that was all happening very quick. Everything was happening at the correct pace, and we have to applaud that. We have to applaud Barcelona's work, because they have been working to get to this level. So Barcelona have officially upped their level. But of course, Atletico Madrid did score first. It was coming from a through ball from Koke to Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez receives the ball, he crosses the ball into the box, and then we had Carrasco score the first goal against FC Barcelona. But even after that, Barcelona did not give up, because I still saw, and many of us still saw, these players become very hyperactive. They wanted to win. They continued to dominate the ball. Even though they were 1-0 down, they did not put their heads down, and that is very important. And so like 2 minutes later, we saw Jordi Alba score a wonder goal and brought Barcelona leveled, and this was the type of goal that was needed from Jordi Alba, because he has been facing so much criticism over the past few seasons, and now he is here today basically showing up for Barcelona. He has leveled Barcelona in a very important match where Barcelona do need to get into 4th place, and Alba was in the face of that. And there is just no way we could rewrite this goal even more perfectly, because the way that he shot this, the way that that ball went all the way to the utmost corner of that goal, and the way that finesse ball curved into the net, it was the most perfect goal we have seen coming from Jordi Alba. And thanks towards Dani Alves for assisting this goal and backing Alba in this moment. It really gave me 2013 flashbacks, because we saw many moments where Dani Alves and Jordi Alba were connecting multiple times. And then fast forward 11 minutes later, we saw Gavi score a goal, brought Barcelona 2-1 up, and it was coming from another great cross from Adama Traoré. Now let's stay here for a second, right? Because I know, yes, it's important to know that Gavi did score because of how young he is and how he is becoming so good at such a young age. But let's stop for a second and talk about Adama Traoré, because let me tell you guys, Adama Traoré had a very good game, and this is probably the best piece of news for Xavi in tonight's game, besides the 3 points, because the fact that Adama Traoré has shown a performance like this before this game even started, many of us were questioning, and I do believe that many people in the Barcelona board and in the coaching staff were questioning, okay, how can we have a player similar to Dembélé, not necessarily bring the same level as Dembélé and have the same quality as Dembélé, but something similar, right? Because we need a right winger that can cross, that can take down players. Adama Traoré in this game has shown that he can do exactly that. He was definitive. He looked dangerous. Throughout the whole game, he always looked like he was going to create something new, like something was going to happen when he had the ball. And it kept Atletico Madrid guessing. And that is one of the reasons on why Gavi scored the goal with a header. It was because of Adama Traoré's brilliance on that right flank. So he was used correctly. Exactly what we have been talking about. Use Adama Traoré, give him the best environment possible, maximize his strengths, and you're going to make that player succeed. So as time went by during that first half, one of the other things that we did notice very well was Barcelona. Of course, they were pressing so good. Like, we have to give credit towards Xavi for organizing this team in this way, because there is improvements. Because the fact that Barcelona were able to press like this and take the ball immediately away from Atletico Madrid, they had no problem being so high up the pitch. We look at this graph here and we can see just how high they have been positioned throughout the whole course of the first half. And we have talked about this too, right? Atletico Madrid was a team that did not press the attacking third as many teams in La Liga. And the fact that Barcelona were able to study Atletico Madrid and say, okay, if they're not going to be pressing us, right, our defensive line, let's go up high, let's press well, let's take control of the match, and let's distribute the ball in the correct spaces. And that is why Barcelona took control in the first half. That is why they looked so fluid, so fast. And then we fast forward towards the last few minutes of the first half, and we saw Ronald Araujo find the back of the net. Again, this center back continues to show up for Barcelona. What a perfect time to score a goal in a moment like this, because he is in the middle of negotiations. There is a big contract set to be made. Araujo has made another very big case in tonight's match. But besides that goal that Araujo has scored in those last 45 minutes, I do want to talk about the true players that did stand out in these first 45 minutes. And that is going to be Pedri, who controlled the game well. He protected the ball all the time, and he connected with the midfielders and the forwards and the defenders. And then as for Dani Alves, who is another player that I do want to especially call out in those first 45 minutes, offensively, he is just such a big asset. The only worry that I do have, and what I did see constantly, was that every time Barcelona were being pressed in that defensive line, because there was a moment, I think like once or twice, where Atletico Madrid decided to press the defensive line, Dani Alves ended up making a very bad decision and he lost the ball and gave the ball away to Atletico Madrid. But besides that, his overall performance is just so great. His crosses, he knows when to do that. His dribbling up the pitch, he knows exactly when to do that. It's like he never even aged to 38, 39 years old. He plays almost exactly the same. So props to him for really being that captain for the youngsters in that game, because he really was showing an example on how to confront a team like Atletico Madrid. But now let's move on towards the second half, right? Because there were a few key things that did happen in this game, and especially in these last 45 minutes, that put this game on fire. And this is going to be a much shorter summary compared to the first half, because not much football really did happen if you were to compare these two halves. And let me explain why. So Dani Alves again showed his class. He made it 4-1. Barcelona had such an advantage at that moment that Barcelona looked so comfortable playing on the field. So this was a great thing to see. Dani Alves took a great shot. There was no way that goalkeeper was going to block it. That was basically like his cherry on top on a very dominant first half performance. But we fast forward towards the 58th minute. Luis Suarez made it 4-2, and we're like, okay, it's 4-2 now. We're still very early in the game. There's still about 30 to 35 minutes to play. Within these last 45 minutes, we need to be under control. We need to take this game into our own hands, because at that moment when Luis Suarez scored that second goal for Atletico Madrid, Barcelona were not in control. And the moment that did happen, we're like, okay, so what's going to happen next? Atletico Madrid, of course, the one answer that they wanted to bring in terms of trying to beat Barcelona was to draw fouls. And we're like, okay, this is exactly what Diego Simeone would do, because the reason why Atletico Madrid wanted to draw these fouls and really stop the momentum is because they wanted to stop the momentum of Barcelona especially, and what they were building going into that second half. And so it was classic Diego Simeone. And then moving forward from there, then we were questioning, okay, how is Barcelona going to react when the intensity is dying down? Because it's clear that Atletico Madrid were trying to stop this momentum, and it turned out to be a very ugly second half. Like, the only thing that we were starting to see is fouls, players coming into the ground, and then moments later, Dani Alves received a red card after kicking one of the players of Atletico Madrid, and then Barcelona were down to 10 men, and we're like, okay, we need to hold on. There is no way we can bottle this lead because we were winning at one point 4-1. So there were a lot of tensions. People were getting very nervous. As a matter of fact, it got so tense that another red card was given on Barcelona's side, which was Oscar Hernandez, who is also known as Xavi Hernandez's brother, and then a yellow card was also given towards Xavi Hernandez. And the only reason why they were given those cards is because there was no card given in the first place to the one player that took down Ferran Torres inside the box that should have been a penalty. So this ref was making so many ridiculous calls that we could not even play our own game, even though we tried to with 10 men. But I want us to understand this one thing, and there's a big reason why I'm giving out such big of a context for you guys to understand like the situation that we were in, and it's going to be this. Many of us were discussing, and this has been for so long, right? We have been talking about this for the past like a year and a half, since the day I started this channel. We're like, okay, one day we want to see Barcelona become so good that even though the ref is having such a bad day and making so many bad calls, Barcelona still win in the end. We want Barcelona to be that good. We have talked about this so many times because this is exactly what did happen under the Pep Guardiola era and the Luis Enrique era. We were so dominant to the point where not even the ref and him having a bad game and making bad calls could stop a dominant team like Barcelona. And in tonight's game, right, this game between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, where we are officially in 4th place, we saw that tonight. Even though the ref was making so many horrible calls in the second half, Barcelona still did not get defeated. We still came out with a win. We still dominated Atletico Madrid in a very good way with 10 men. And why is that? That is because Barcelona were so superb in their football. They were always correct in their decisions. They were playing so smart, drawing fouls, putting the ball into open spaces, pressuring Atletico Madrid. Everything was just 100%. And like I've said before, I can't tell you who was the standout player of today's game, and that is because Barcelona as a collective delivered. And I hope that that is not the last time I do say this for the rest of this season. I want to have a hard time calling out the best player on a match day, because if Barcelona as a whole are all playing well, that is how Barcelona do win in the end. But that is it, right? Barcelona is in 4th place. We move forward from here. It's going to be a very tough month for the month of February. All of this again is going to be extremely covered on this YouTube channel. That is going to be wrapping up today's Barcelona post-match review. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.